All right, so we're back with part two of this whole how to make your sex life spicier. Is that was the question?
Turn up your sex life.
Turn up your sex life. So yeah, sex is emotional for women. You just can't come home and just wham bam thank you ma'am, not to your wife. You may treat that chick in college or high school like that, but you got to be a little different towards your wife.
Now this is what I'm going to say, because I think there has to be, like we always say, there are going to be certain words that we just use all the time. Compromise is going to be one of them. Communication is going to be one of them. Mm-hmm. I think the compromise has to be that we both kind of blend each other. Because I've heard you say every woman's fantasy is to get ravished.
Yeah, but that ain't wham bam thank you ma'am.
No, and I'm not saying wham bam thank you ma'am. I'm saying it lasts 20 hours for all I care.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you said women want to get ravished.
We do.
But now you're also saying you better come home with some conversation. When I think of ravishing sex, I don't think of, hey baby, how was your day? I think I come in the door and I just grab you and we up against the wall. That's ravishing. Not let's have a conversation. So what I think I'm hearing is that y'all want both. And I do believe that men should give you both. Yeah. I just think at the end of the day, to make sex more exciting, women, if it's all about sex starts in the kitchen and did you text me and did we talk and did we have a conversation, that's very hard to make sex more exciting if that's the way it is all the time. Now, I'm not saying, of course, a good conversation will, spark some interest in each other or things like that. And, I'm just saying, if we're talking about how to spice your sex life up, because I can only give you from a man's perspective, to spice it up is going to be some of that impromptu sex. It's going to be some of that, the kids in bed.
That's the ravishing part.
Yeah, the kids in bed. I'm downstairs watching the game, and you come downstairs with a trench coat on with nothing on under.
But that's when we got that look at each other like, let's get it in. When you can look at each other and know
that's a let's get it in, but it's a thing also about initiating. And I know that's a lot of, that's something for a lot of couples too. Just the whole, even I'll put it out there I'll disclose.
Kill is self-disclosing. Wow.
People know that. Well, maybe people don't know. Before me and T got married, we didn't have sex. So you really kill your sex drive off. Mm-hmm. Then, when it was time to have sex, again, this kind of goes back to your sexual past. People she was with, the men were the initiators, but the women I was with, they were the initiators. So now we had to kind of learn
who's gonna
how to initiate sex, which goes back to how your sexual past can affect your marriage now. And that was something that took us time to learn how to initiate, sex with each other and things like that. So, it's kind of like moving past that to be able to say that it doesn't always have to be a look. It may just have to be in your mind, I'm going to ravish my wife tonight. Or be in my mind, I'm going to ravish my husband tonight. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's how you can also make sex more exciting. Because as you get older and as you have kids, you are going to kind of have to schedule sex. It's not going to be as free flowing as it was in the past, and you can't expect it to be.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Sex is okay.
That's okay. But I don't think when you become to stick to that schedule and there's nothing else outside of that, I think that can make sex stagnant. So if the whole question is how can we make it more exciting, you can make it more exciting if you are the couple who has to plan it. Well, buck the system one day and let it be a Tuesday instead of a Friday.
Give me three things a woman should do. 3 things just off the top of your head. 3 things.
Role play.
Role play?
Lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
Talk nasty.
Talk nasty. So via texting?
Text in the bedroom, or whatever. And that's just 3 things off the top of my head. That, not just me, but what I've heard from other men, that, because most men, we kind of like all the same stuff. When it comes to men and sex, we're really not, too many of us aren't that different. There are some who are different, but I think those 3 things, because I think, number one, men are visual. So I think what women have to kind of realize, and everybody has different marriage. I know couples whose wives allow their men to go to the strip clubs with no problem. Enjoy yourself. You see what I'm saying? Then you have other wives who are like, you better not even look at a strip club. Forget looking at the stripper. You better not even look at the door. So it's like, and another thing you'll always hear repeated, and it's a lot of C words. It's communication. it's compromise, and it's Chris Rock. Chris Rock is the third C. Like he said.
You know we endorse Chris Rock.
Chris, you gotta give
so much
because they're good.
They are. You love him. You really
like Chris said, your wife will take care of you, but she ain't gonna entertain you. Yeah. So if you don't want us going to the strip club,
so we need to entertain.
Y'all gotta entertain us. And hey, if you want to be entertained too, I'll be Chippendales all night.
Oh wow.
I mean, my thing is whatever. My thing is this. Whatever you want, I'm going to try to give you.
Okay.
And to me, that's my pledge to T as my wife. And that should be a pledge as every husband to her wife.
And I think most people
from a
want
wife to a husband should be whatever you want. I'm going to try to give you. I ain't going to say it's going to be perfect. I ain't, like you said, you may not be the sexiest vixen or may not. But at the end of the day, I'm going to try to give it to you. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And I think that has to be the thing. And it has to be, I know as life goes on, because I'm 11 years in with a 5-year-old kid. That's the thing with marriages. You have so many stages and people in so many. In the stage of 11 years may not be the best advice to the stage of the first year because we're living in two different times.
Absolutely.
But after 11 years, you kind of look at things. And T said the other night, like, after you put a kid to bed and after you do homework, you don't really feel too sexy. You just don't. So and it's like it's a situation where you kind of just have to work through that to continue to make sure that, the sex does stay exciting, that the person still stays interested in you. And
sometimes you got to switch it up. Most people want the sex at night because it appears to be a little bit more romantic. But dude, if you both at your best early morning, get up an hour ahead of time and get it in. Yeah. Get it. Hey, to me, that's the best way to send your spouse off for the day.
There you go. Send them off to work happy.
Yeah, send them to work happy.
And I think, you asked for 3 things. I think even for the man to the woman, I gave you 3. Okay. But I think that just impromptu-ness, is that a word? Impromptu-ness?
It works. Okay. We can use it.
We make
I make up words so you can.
So I think that's something that helps both sexes too. The man and the woman is just, wow, I wasn't expecting
spontaneity.
That. Yeah, like I didn't expect that. Like, I'm doing the dishes and here you come up. You know what I mean? And and the thing about it is that I think, for men and women, and I think for women more, is we have to be acceptive of those things. It's kind of like we were talking about with when you're flirting, you have to be accepted. If y'all aren't having exciting sex or like that, and your man comes behind you and he's massaging you and rubbing you,
you better get it.
Don't push him off of you,
don't reject him.
I'm doing the dishes, we have to, and the same thing for men. If your wife is trying to come down, I know it made women try the first to third quarter. Like don't do the fourth.
All she needs is a good 10
Don't
minutes.
do the fourth. Don't do
10 minutes.
Right, but I'm just saying, don't do the fourth. Leave the fourth quarter open. Okay. Like women, do your knowledge. Find out what time the game comes on. Do your knowledge. Don't do the fourth quarter. Okay. First through third, I'm good. We are, them quarters don't even in playoff basketball. Sometimes all I need to watch is the fourth quarter. But even if your wife does come down the fourth quarter with 20 seconds left, at the end of the day, none of us are getting paid from these games. So, homeboy, don't turn down no sex and don't turn down no, for just to see if Derrick Rose is going to make this shot. SportsCenter will be on when she's done. So we just have to...
TiVo it.
Right. We have to get into that mindset of, we put so much other stuff above sex. No, the game is on. Well, I got to do dishes. I got to do this. You bothering me. I got to iron. And,
my shows come on tonight. All
so
that craziness.
We got to stop rejecting, our spouses.
That's it. You got to stop the rejection. Because the rejection leads your spouse into someone else's arms.
Right.
And then you really ain't going to be getting none.
Right. So these are just a couple of ways to... Well, give me 3 things. What could a man do?
Well,
we know talk.
Well, that wasn't going to be my first one.
Oh, okay. What was your first one?
Act like you desire me.
Okay.
And by that, I need to be hearing from you and not Joe Blow on the street. Girl, you doing it today. Baby, that's what's up. Just those little things like, girl, and it sounds silly.
Right now.
It sounds silly, but if you want your wife to take care of you, you got to take care of her too. She needs to feel desired. Okay. And if she's not feeling desired, she's not going to come to bed and give you her best.
I feel that.
Plain and simple. I think that just sums it up.
So that's 1 through 3?
Yeah, that's 1 through 3.
1 through 3.
If she feels desired,
you got to tell your wife she look good. And mean it.
And it's more than just look good. It's like,
you gotta mean it.
It's like, boo, you do it for me. You do it for me.
Right.
Even when you got that headscarf on, you do it.
The headscarf, she'd still do it. Okay, yeah, she still do it for me. The headscarf on.
Is he serious?
Nah, I feel you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm just making sure. I understand. I'm making sure my dudes out here understand.
Yes, even with that headscarf on, you better make her feel like she is the sexiest. Because let me tell you, women get booked all the time when they look their worst. I get more men that probably try to hit on me when I look a mess. And I'm like, dude, do you see what I look like?
You really saying this?
Oh, no, I tell my husband.
Oh, okay. Frank knows about all of that.
People do it when, like say, for instance, if we're like in the store and like I'm not around him and like some dude's trying to like holler, whatever. And I'd be like, dude, babe, that dude just tried to holler at me. He'd be like, can he pay bills? You know? So,
Frank a fool.
That's my dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He know I ain't going nowhere. That's my home. I ain't going nowhere.
And I think that's something else that you said too that's real, is that when you know your spouse ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
When you feel secure, and I think maybe that keeps a lot of people from really opening up. It's probably women more than men, that women need to feel secure in their marriage to say, maybe I'm not giving you my all or doing all this stuff because, you're my husband, but I don't even feel secure enough with you like I would with a boyfriend. So I think making
not even with a boyfriend, I think for women, there's a different level of how you think you're supposed to feel with a husband as opposed to a boyfriend.
Right.
With a husband, and this is unrealistic, but men just understand, you think that husband's going to see past all your flaws and they're not going to run away from your flaws. A boyfriend can.
Right.
So when that dude says I do, you're just kind of like, he takes me for all that I am and all my craziness. And y'all know I come with a whole bunch of crazy. In all my craziness. And so you want to have that type of security, and that allows you the freedom to be more freer in your sex life.
Right.
But that doesn't always happen.
No.
And so when you start getting the rejection or you start getting the, what are you doing and why are you like that, then now you're shutting that your spouse down. You can't do it. Don't shut your spouse down.
So prayerfully, in its 2-part Female Fridays, we talked about a couple of ways to spice up your marriage.
Yeah.
If you I know some people don't like going to sex stores. Hey, the internet's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you want to be more anonymous, you can always order online, but I think it adds a certain
I think you should try to get past that to go to the sex store. Because
it's your husband. It is your husband. Or it's your wife. So it's okay.
Right.
You are the people that are allowed to have sex. You should be having sex.
I'm just saying for people
why am I pointing? Sorry, people.
I'm just saying for people who, you got to ease some people into some things. So, you can't just be like...
Yeah, because I'm the type of person like, oh my gosh, go to a sex store.
You can't be like, buy this. So maybe in the beginning, you
I'm a bit prudish. I'm a bit prudish.
And then in a couple of years, you may be the sex store. You may walk in, hey, Roz, what's up? Aisle 9. We already got it for you. You never know. You may have to just work, but I don't want to scare nobody and make you drag somebody
to the sex store.
And then they be like, oh, it's 2 people looking at me. And,
yeah.
You want to make sure that...
be comfortable
You want to be comfortable.
Feel comfortable.
That's the whole thing. But the thing is...
But when you're with your spouse, it's your responsibility to each other to make each other feel comfortable with what you're doing.
Right. So, prayerfully...
And you might see your pastor in there if that's who you worried about seeing. But that's okay, because that means they getting it in too. And he's going to be excited that you are having sex with your husband, because my Pastor Jenkins, always says that he has the worst time trying to get married people to have sex.
I don't know if Pastor Jenkins will be excited to see you in the sex. Neither here nor there.
You married.
Yeah, I know you married. I know. I'm just saying. So, keep it live. TillDeathInfo.com. Another fabulous Female Fridays with Dr. Roz.
This was a fun Female Friday.
This was fun. This was fun. We got a whole rack of questions to go, but we keep them coming. Keep them coming. We love it. And prayerfully, I always say if one person feels a way, there's another 100 people who do too. So prayerfully, we're not just answering your question, but we're answering
please share our
other
videos.
people's questions. Tell people about us.
Please share our videos.
Yeah.
Because if we're helping you, we want to help others too.
Yeah, put us up on Facebook. How people live on Facebook.
Share our videos on Facebook.
Tweet about us.
Yes, tweet about us.
Yeah, so keep it locked. TillDeathInfo.com.
Have a good one, guys.